Just needed to wait until coffee machine is finished. So we exit. No, we didn't exit. They kicked us out. And let's have a check if we got a notice. No notification. We launched the game again, and we started here, where we basically ended. We just turned around the ship, and this is supposed to be Everest, based on Hurston. Yeah, Everest. And we are not in quantum jump mode. We ask for landing request, and now when you have a check, don't know if you can see that, probably now you can see we see Everest Harbor, and we got the sound of sending the request. You hear that? But we do not get. And we got damage on the front side of the ship, which is interesting. Yeah, you see there. That might be that at the time we've been kicked out. The session was still going on and the ship was still flying while we were making a coffee and relaunched the game. That's why we got damaged, but that's not the problem. We do not care, because our test scenario will be we will land. See, it doesn't work. It reacts visually, but we do not get. Do we get? No. We do not see any blue marker. And we got no audio signal back. So we got no landing request. And over there are landing pads. So the test scenario is we land here on the landing pad. Go back in and do an insurance claim in the thought that we lost our now damaged ship. This would be something some people would call insurance fraud. Because we didn't lose the ship, no, we just placed it and claim that we lost it. Yeah. This is what we do. We land, and to make sure, oh, too early. What we do is claim. No, we haven't been too early. We still can. Check if we landed properly. Yeah. So we could repair, we can refuel and everything. So the station itself recognizes the ship. We are here. And the ship is here. So if there is a communication between the station and the insurance company, yeah, this is just fiction, right? Then we would be able to not be able to. This is interesting. Why don't we see the whole what we saw before? And this is something that happens quite some time. You see that? we see through the hall inside the ship. And when we have a check, what is that? Yeah, that is behind the boxes inside the bridge, right next to the turret seat. But we do not see it from the inside, so it's just an outside visual stuff. Either way, if the station communicates with the insurance company, they will let the insurance company know the ship is not lost. The ship is here. But they do not communicate, because the Everest station, whoever operates on this station, is not involved in insurance stuff, and they are virtue of right or authority. So we have the authority, because of the contract, to call out the authority or the right, the insurance, to give us a new ship. This is what we do. We call out the insurance company to give us a new ship because we lost it. To call, name, describe, we lost it. We described the situation. We landed on the pad. The station noticed that we landed on the pad, but yet we claim we lost our ship because we want to load all our cargo into the ship and bring it to a place where we can access to it. To cry out, no, we do not cry, but we shout, we proclaim. Pro means for something, in addition to, in order to. Kelle, claim, klele, kelle, to shout, claimed, claimed. Meaning, to maintain as true. Yeah, that's why we call this title insurance fraud, because it's not true. We didn't lost our ship. No, we didn't lose our ship. No, it is parked outside of the station. Assert a belief or opinion. So our opinion is, and that has nothing to do with the insurance company, that we should be allowed to land on Everest because we call Everest our home. And what we didn't do, we didn't set the region spot here before we set insurance claim. That we can do later on. We will see if that's gonna work. We got room 5.
Security, please come to storage room 3 right now.
Yeah, lots of people are here. We have seat 89 on this server, so 2 seats left. From that point on, we hopped on. So what are we doing here? This is just habits. So we transfer our imprint to Everest, because there is still one thing that can happen even after we spend 10k for expedite the deliverance of our new ship, is that we cannot launch. So let's have a check what we have to sell here.
What?
This is some sort of distraction, yeah. If you have ADHD or whatever that thing is called, Citizen is the best platform for you to fully live out your distraction habits. And as you can see top right, we are a little bit below this 5.555. But we just wanted to have for fun. And funny how, last night we watched a video from PC 101. This is a YouTuber who does also Star Citizen videos, and he had the same issue like we had just 2 days ago, and he mentioned that he has no meaning of existence within the verse because there is nothing to do anymore. And this is what we also experienced. That's why that's why we do start testing as testing supposed to be. And we sell all our stuff because we do not want to transfer stuff we do not need to the new location if that's gonna work. And want to make sure that we probably only have boxes to transfer. But these MKX stuff, most of them we paid money for. That's why we do not sell it. The Crusader edition, and some are official armors, which we like to transfer to Sapphire. Crusader edition, yeah, lots of Crusader editions. Helmet 10, yeah, we did a lot of Crusader stuff. Interestingly, how did they come up here? Modified. The modified stuff are primarily from Ninetales. So, in the economic sense, even the criminals, we call it criminals because they have the... Oh, wait. This looked like Crusader. No, Crusader has their own. So we can sell them. Oh no, we already over 555. Okay, so we stop. Alright. We go to the terminal and check if these 5 minutes are done. So what we also have is now we got the regen spot here on Everest that we would consider, yeah, but that's just we would consider that we now have the right or the authority to actually claim our ship here and be allowed to retrieve it because it's our home.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
So it's here.
Vehicle
Claim.
selected.
No
Stand
retrieve.
by.
Copy. It's not morning anymore, but we just got out of bed, so that's why we're still drinking coffee. Yeah, this is something that we expected.
I'm sorry. That is an invalid request.
That basically means that we spent 10k for nothing. And this is
Your
what we
please
call
visit us again.
scam.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by.
And you may wonder, if we cannot retrieve a Taurus here on Everest, how the heck did we get a Taurus then? Because we had every ship on here, we got all the stuff in here, we had nothing somewhere else. How did we get the Taurus? Yeah, well, we can tell you how we did that. And this is...
I'm sorry. That is an invalid request.
That what we did was absolutely no insurance fraud. So we went to the medical center, set our regen spot to Lowville, which is our prime location. We suicided by walking
Your
out
please
of
visit
the
us
open
again.
pad
Welcome to the
without
ASOP
any
vehicle
clothes.
retrieval system. Vehicle
and woke up
selected.
in Lowell.
Stand by.
And in Lowell, we went to the terminals, claimed a Taurus, and we got the claim. We got the Taurus. So, it's not that we are lost, or
Welcome to the
yeah,
ASOP
probably we
vehicle
are lost.
retrieval
But it's
system.
not that the Taurus was lost, no. It is just a bug in the
Please visit
system,
us again.
and this is
Bye.
interesting to notice. So, if you take care
Welcome to
before
the
you
ASOP
pledge
vehicle
your
retrieval
very, very
system. I'm
first ship,
sorry, that is an invalid request.
if you pledge
Your
and
please
you
visit us again.
see the
Welcome
insurance
to the
stuff and you
ASOP
have no
vehicle
idea what the
retrieval system.
insurance stuff is all about,
Vehicle selected.
then
Stand by.
you probably make sure that you find a ship that has
Insurance claim has
the
been
most, the longest runtime of
sent. Please
insurance
visit us again. Goodbye.
that you can afford. Would make sense, right? Like IRL, in real life, you do only insurance you can afford or you are forced to have because of law. So, what does that mean?
I'm sorry. that is
You're
an
in a
invalid request.
constant
Your
state
please
of
visit us
fear,
again. Welcome.
especially if you
ASOP
have
vehicle retrieval
bought a
system.
ship, pledged a
Vehicle
ship
selected.
that has an
Stand by.
insurance runtime of 3 months, let's say, and you start playing, and we will have the 3 month at the end of September, which is soon. And then we would be afraid of what happens after that. What happens after these 3 months? Can we still claim insurance and get our ship? And this is something that we could ask here.
I'm sorry.
Is our
that is
insurance
an
stuff
invalid request.
ran out?
Your please visit us
No,
again.
it didn't, because we
Goodbye.
can go to Lawville and claim an insurance and we get a Taurus. It's just not here on Everest. It just here on Everest does not work. This constant fear in the back of your head about that insurance stuff, we can take it away because the insurance stuff in Star Citizen within the verse doesn't work like it would work in real life. Because the security they offer is, if you do not have a ship, you will be mostly not able to do anything, because you need to rely on somebody who transport you, right? And that is something that comes into play many releases later, that they will implement the public transport system. And then they have the excuse not to make sure that you can get your ship. But up until then, they need to. Because without, you cannot do much in the world. This is interesting. New paradigm. All these little clues. Yeah. This is basically the confirmation of the metaverse. The new world. And that's what they promote. Yeah. Create a better world. Yeah. So do you need to worry up until then? And even then, after that, when they implement public transport, what does that mean? Okay. So, this is how the insurance work and the legal fiction of ownership. Because we claimed a file, the insurance company made sure that this is not our ship anymore. We do not own this ship anymore. Yeah, this is the fiction. The fiction of ownership. Somebody is just telling you it's not. But we will have a check again, sorry, on the claim, not the verb. The claim. A demand of a right. Right of claiming. So we did that. Claim complaint. We complained that we cannot get off Everest. meaning thing claimed or demanded. So we demanded a new ship because we lost our ship. Specifically, a piece of land allotted and taken. So this is what happened here. Our ship is now taken. It's taken away by the security company. You can call it in the lingo of commerce. In the lingo of commerce, you can say we sold this ship to the insurance company. And that's why they gave us a new ship. They transported it to Everest, but we cannot retrieve the ship. Yeah. So hopping back to what did we say? The fiction, legal fiction, the fiction. Can we switch? Yeah, we can switch. The fiction, the fiction, that which is invented or imagined in the mind. So ownership, it's invented in the mind. Ownership is imagined in the mind. Ownership is, in the legal fiction, a piece of paper where it says, if it comes to land, for example, this section of land managed through the government or the state is now transferred to ownership of nomadic, for example. So now, in that invented, imagined stuff in the mind, we now own this parcel of land. But the land was there before the administration was there, before the government was there, before the state was there. The land was there before we invented, before we imagined in our mind that we can own this piece of land. And the same stuff goes for a ship, a thing, an object, a vehicle, whatever. Even your underwear you're wearing, probably. Even the underwear you wear, you claim you own, but that is a legal fiction. The reason why you own it is because you paid money for, right? And this is the imagination part in your mind. Because you paid money for, you believe that you own your underwear. And because of that, you start wearing the underwear. And from that very moment, nobody else wants to wear your underwear. Yeah. And so, in your mind, you still think you own the underwear you wear because you paid money for, but no, you own the underwear because you wear it. Because nobody wants to wear your underwear. And the same goes for everything else. If you shit on your land, nobody wants to buy the land anymore because you shit on it. But you can cover the shit, you can remove the shit, and then you can sell the land again. And somebody who does not know you shit the land, you will probably buy the land, right? But even then, you will buy the land with money. And it doesn't matter what money it is. Call it US dollar, call it yen, call it Swiss franc, call it euro, whatever, even UAC. That money you use to buy whatever you want to buy, to claim ownership afterwards, is not yours. This is something that you need to keep in mind. The money you use to buy stuff is not yours. You do not own the money. This is an illusion. All right. Yeah, this is we got way too much stuff here. An excursion of the idea of insurance and therefore insurance fraud and how they work. If you claim insurance, you sell the ship. And this is really interesting. Yeah, the ship now is on the pad. What we can do is we can claim another ship. Unfortunately, they're all somewhere stored. So even when we claim the Aurora, and we also will pay the money for, just for the sake of testing. Hey, what? Expedite. What did we want to say? If we actually lose our ship, not landed on the pad, then we would have probably a better chance in order to do a scientific test. And even when we claim the Aurora, which was stored on Tresla, it will have the same character as the towers on the pad. So that means we expect not to be able to retrieve the Aurora because it was stored. Yeah. So try. And we cannot, but we do not get an error. Might be that we didn't get the error because we moved away from the terminal. Yeah, as expected. So in order to redo these tests, we need to die and go to Lorville, take a ship, do not land on the pad, somewhere else, set respawn place here. Yeah, this is bad. We do not like that. Because afterwards we think we do not get our stuff back. We have a box, an 8 SU box full of weapons. And we put these weapons in there. This is the ADHS part. We wanted to do that test, but now we are moving weapons from the main inventory to a box. Because, yeah, we got the hope. We got the hopium that when we do the test, that we actually can get a ship. And we will do that test with the Aurora just because it's cheaper and it goes faster. And we undressed for a specific reason, because when we die in space, then we can revive faster without suicide, because we have the suspicion because Star Citizen, at the state it is still a testing version. it is a testing platform, and this is what we do now. We test stuff. They observe basically every move what every player is doing. So you probably think, oh, this is conspiracy theory. Because there's supposed to be 5 mil on the platform. And how do they do that? Yeah, well, that is pretty simple because everything is digitally. They can do that just by algorithm. You can call it AI, but it's no AI. It's just by the algorithm they can do that, because whatever you do with your digital character within the verse is something that they intentionally programmed you are able to do. But the action itself, if you do it or not, depends on whatever you do or not. So this is the thing, right? That means you can do stuff they probably do not expect you can do. Because the law says you will be out of atmosphere if your altitude is more than 30 kilometers. Yeah, this is just a law, a fiction that they program within an algorithm and say, okay, if your ship's altitude is 30k above ground, you are outside of atmosphere. But if you leave the ship 30 kilometers outside or above ground, outside of atmosphere, you leave the ship, you still get pulled down from so-called gravity. This is the law. This is what they can program. Yeah. And this is something that they have intended to. And the same goes for what we do now. We set the region spot to Lowville, and we will move to the landing pad to our ship. No, we do not get his. No, we do not get in this. If we die in space, has within the system another effect, as if we got shut down. The so-called soft death. Yeah, soft death. But this is no soft death. This is a definite death. Yeah, this is a definite death. Oh, you see the bulge? There's no way back. That's why you got 12 seconds to be back. And there's no chance that anybody will be able to revive you. Oh, you see the breath? Oh, nice detail. Yeah, you wouldn't stand a chance. That's why the time is 11 seconds. Was probably a little bit more in real life, but that's why. That's why we do this kind of death. And not suicide, because suicide, what does that mean? If you do suicide within the game, they know you put yourself back in space. And permadeath, it's another fiction they telling you, is also an interesting aspect of, let's say, spirituality. Is if you do backspacing too many times, that means your lifestyle is considered to be too dangerous, whatever that means. But so you're not worth living within the world. Yeah, it's the narrative, it's a fiction. Don't take it too seriously, but it's interestingly to think about it. And this is something what many players do not get. If you pledge for a ship, you agree on the terms of service, yeah, not the product. It's not a condition. Because if they would have terms of condition, that would mean in order to fulfill the contract, they need to fulfill the condition. But since they do not have a condition, no, they just have a service, you rely on the availability on that service. That's it. But since you didn't buy a license, you do not have the ownership of anything within the verse. If you take legal action, it will have no worth at all, because the only one thing that they need to deliver is the service, making it available for you to get into the verse what we are, to make available to you to fly ships that we can with a lot of effort, but we can. But there's just one station that doesn't work. So if you claim a legal issue against CIG, you won't stand a chance. And even if you spend just the bare amount of 50 bucks to get the cheapest starter ship, they still offer you a service. And if you pledged over the last 10-12 years 1,000 per year, or even more or less, doesn't matter, you still have no condition. It's still a service. And every time you launch the game, you will see a pop-up message you probably don't read, but you click on I acknowledge. And what does that mean? There is a link at the very bottom that says terms of service and a link to the page on terms of service. But behind that page, or on that page, you need to notice when they do update the terms of service. And if you don't get it, when they update it and what they updated, you have no idea what they are doing. You have absolutely no idea what they are doing.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
So we will take
Your
that ship.
insurance claim has been sent. Thank you. Please visit us again.
We won't have the hangar available already. That was too fast, yeah. Ah, we got the medium. Okay. Can we exit it? We will see soon. Yeah, it looks like. This is really interesting. Why do we have a medium-sized hangar before we even claimed it or retrieved the ship here? And we are able to enter this hangar. This is really interesting. Because, yeah, we can say, okay, Lorville. Oh, that was fast. Lorville is our primary location. That is the reason why it works faster. Would be a good point, but we do not believe it. Oh, select. It doesn't really look that really. We got a tractor beam. Yeah, we got it. It might be that it is because we have set the respawn location to our primary location. It can be that primary location doesn't act the same way like other places do. But that will take too much time to figure that out. And I mean, of course, to figure that out would be interesting, right? Just to see behind all the stuff, and this is what we are doing. Basically, we uncover the truth behind the system, or we expose the system as that. This will be our compelling storytelling we are striving to do. Because CIG could, if they wanted to. They simply just could. Tell us that. Publish that on their website.
Thank you.
It might be they did that. We just didn't found the page where they telling us that. Because there was the other guy, I think it was it Oxyfoxy? Foxy Loxy or PC 101. Both are the same archetype as we are. We got hooked to the verse because you need to figure stuff out. You need to figure stuff out by yourself. This was intriguing. This is intriguing. And this is what Avenger 1 would say, skill-based experience within the verse. Yeah. And this is what is that exploration stuff. You need to figure stuff out is part of increasing your skill level. And this is really a thing that stands out for Star Citizen. And again, we are not gamers. We have no idea about what stuff is out there, because every game has its own characteristics that you need to figure out how stuff works. But in Star Citizen in specific, we will say, I mean, get into the ship and take off is something that everyone can do, because it's just like the average, the usual standard key bindings. That's why everyone can manage. But beside that, man, just taking off on and off the helmet, okay, it's in the tutorial. If you manage to do that, we didn't do, so we took a while to get to that. We are now able to. Oh look, no, our Taurus is still there. We probably need to hub server in order to do that. So we are 15 kilometers out, and we are asking for landing. Yeah, you need to figure that stuff out. That's why you do not have much tutorials from CIG at all. They do not publish some sort of information that is, let's say, behind the scene. They just tell you, hey, look, there is fire is coming up. There is salvaging is coming up, and you can salvage. And if that partially damaged stuff come up from so the towers over there, that is a problem, because it might be that is still linked to our account. Yeah, this is not really thick. And there was talking about this piping, whatever the piping is. You do not need to imagine real pipes, but that piping is the way how they pipe elements of your virtual ship. And if there is a damage in the ship, you need to know how the piping is going in order to be able to fix the ship immediately. But they don't tell you that. They probably tell you about the piping, but they don't tell you how the blueprint of the piping is. because they want you to find out what you need to do in order to repair your ship, right? And this is how you get stuck into the verse. This is what they do. They keep you occupied. And this is basically what metaverse is. What metaverse is all about. To keep you occupied. You will do everything what you would do in real life, but here in the world. This is what they want to implement, yeah? The engineers, those who do the engineer stuff, and if they implement the builders, you will have the builders who build buildings. And what they introduced, it was, I think, 318, is the salvaging, also those guys like us who do make sure that we collect all the trash, yeah. This is quite fun if you just think about it. They implement a gameplay to collect trash. And there are people like us who do that. And if they implement jobs like barkeeper, there will be players who do barkeeping within the game. That is metaverse. In the essential, it is metaverse. So what we are doing here now is we are gonna set region spot to Everest before we claim that very Aurora. We basically parked outside, but not on a pad. So let's have a check.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
Yeah,
retrieval
that
system.
is what we wanted to. So the insurance company does not know where our ship is. And this is what we said before in the fiction. The Everest space station was telling the insurance company where is our ship, and it was on the pad. But now it's unknown. They do not know
Your
where the ship
insurance claim
is.
has been sent.
And we claim,
Thank you.
oh, we lost our ship. So bring it here to Everest, because we are on Everest, and we also have our region spot here on Everest, because we call Everest our home. So let's have a check if we already have hangars like we had in Lorville. And we don't. This is what we expected, yeah, we do not have.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
20
Please
seconds.
visit us again.
CDS. Sometimes it's interesting to see what other people's wear to get an idea of what their gameplay style is, and this one looks some sort of a salvager.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
Or cargo
retrieval
holding.
system. Vehicle selected.
Big
Stand
moment.
by.
We do not expect to get the ship.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. I'm sorry, that is an invalid request.
Yeah, and if we want to do it scientifically, we can
Welcome to the
read you
ASOP
the
vehicle
step
retrieval system.
a certain
Vehicle
amount of time.
selected. Stand by. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Yeah.
Vehicle selected.
So in order to get
Stand by.
our stuff out of here,
Your
we
vehicle
need
has been
a
delivered to the
friend
following. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
who is able to retrieve his ships here,
I'm so. Your please visit us again.
and then we will be able to bring our stuff out. Yeah. So avarice is dead for us in terms of we cannot operate here. I mean, we can go to the medical center. Both terminals seems to work. We can buy stuff, but we cannot leave unless we parked on the open pad. But besides that, yeah. And this is it. This is the first one was an official insurance fraud, and it failed. And the second one was also some sort of an insurance fraud, but it's a little bit better made, and still didn't work. And it's not that the insurance fraud worked or the insurance fraud didn't work. No, it is the terminals at Everest that didn't work. This is what didn't work. So at the end of this video, we will go back to the fiction once more, just to remind ourselves what the fiction is. Yeah, the science fiction. What is the verse all about? Which is invented or imagined in the mind. So whatever you think, what gravity is, what flying rocks in space is just imagined in the mind. And that imagination in the mind, CIG was programming code to make a virtual environment that actually picture that imagine on your screen. This simulation, this is very interesting. This simulation, ruse, invention, fabrication is all is just made up. And that's why CIG offers you a service and no condition. Get that? A fashioning or fining, noun of faction or past participle, fingere, yeah, the fingers, to shape, form, devise, feign, originally to knit, form out of clay, to form, build, yeah. Meaning prose works, yeah, the prose, like a poem, not dramatic, of the imagination is from 1590s, yeah, a little bit closer or a little bit before, the Renaissance. At first, often including plays and poems. Narrower sense of the part of literature comprising novels and short stories based on imagined senses or characters. Yeah, that's why you have character repair. The legal sense, fiction of law. Yeah, that's why we came to the term of law of fiction, fiction of law, is from 1580s, yeah, again before the Renaissance. A writer of fiction could be a fictionist. A related Latin words included the literal notion worked by hand, as well as figurative senses of, invented in the mind, artificial, not natural. So this so-called artificial intelligence is just an imagination in the mind, an invention in the mind. It does not exist. It's not real. Made of clay, earthen. Yeah, if it is actually made out of clay, you would have something in front of you you will see. You will have something in front of you you can touch, you can smell, you can lick, you probably can hug, or you can destroy. That is what is real. Victor Molder, the one who sculptures, but also of Ulysses says, master of deceit. Yeah, master of deceit. A deception, a falsehood, fiction. Yeah, and this is really, really interesting when it comes to this guy, Chris Roberts. He had an imagination in his mind, and he invented the idea of not creating a video game, but a universe. Yeah, keep that in mind. He said, or there was a notion we saw, We do not create a video game. We create a universe. This needs to be verified if he actually said that, but we thought he did. So that's why Star Citizen doesn't feel like a game, because it's not. You may think, oh, it's a simulator. Yeah, it is probably a simulation, but it is also a dissimulation because it's science fiction. Yeah, a lot of stuff is going on here, and people probably do not want to see what's there. Yeah, what's visible, what is real. They want to stay in that fiction, in that imagination, in that universe. And this is pretty clever, to be honest, in terms of marketing, that they hook up. I mean, if you observe or analyze the behavior of CIG, especially Chris Roberts, as a CEO or as an entrepreneur, he does everything what the usual entrepreneur does not want to do, but he does, and it plays out. Started with creating a universe, not a video game, creating a universe based on backers, crowdfunding. That means there is no condition. He does not need to do anything. He can stop at any time he wants. But he needs to tell a story, a poem, that people will accept whatever outcome there will be. Yeah, this is it for now. Having a check on that note, we said we do not create a video game, we create a universe. If you find that is to take literally and get, or let's say comprehend what that actually means, and then you will find the truth. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.